Hello, this is Natalie with the Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast. We're moving all the way to Europe. We're here with Lars, country leader of Germany, and I want to talk about what is life in Germany. Who can buy, what cities are trending for expats, and also what is the buying process from beginning to end. Thank you for being with us, Lars.
Thank you.
Will you share a little bit about you, your experience, who you are, so people can get to know you a little better?
Okay. Well, I studied business science and I'm in the real estate business since 1999, so quite a while. I worked for mainly franchise companies like England Völkers, like Darline Company, like Von Poll Real Estate, which is a German-based company. In the last 7 years, I worked for Remax, so I'm a franchise guy. My business was always corporate development, and I'm with EXP now since October 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how is the market, let's say, from in Germany? Because Germany is a big country, it's a very productive country. I feel like everybody goes there to just work. How is the real estate there? What would be the process to buy? Anybody can buy there? There's restrictions. What would be the
Anybody
process?
can buy. There's no restrictions at all. Well, you have to follow the rules and the laws and the authorities. If you are able to get to enter Germany and to live there, and you get the ID, the German ID, you're also able to live in Germany without the German ID. But it's free for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the real estate market is. You have to know that we have one of the lowest ownership quotas in Europe. The ownership quota is about 50%. The rest is rentals. Mm-hmm. That means we have a huge rental market, especially in the metropolitan areas. Mm-hmm. Biggest metropolitan area is Berlin, has the highest transaction volume in Germany. We have 7 metropolitan areas, and Berlin is bigger than the rest, the other 6. So mm-hmm. It's the biggest market, and I think it's also the most international markets.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are these where most expat move to? Which are the main cities that people like from abroad, US or Canada, usually think about when they move to Germany?
Well, Berlin is one place. Munich, of course, everybody knows Munich and the so-called Oktoberfest. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of guys from Arabia in the summertime, because then it's too hot in Arabia. They move to Munich just for a couple of months. And in Berlin, for example, we have many foreign investors, not only in the past, but also today. We had many investors from Scandinavia, from UK, also from the US, also from China. Interesting market, because it's a huge rental market to buy investment properties, although the yields are not really high, not compared to like a second home market, but it's a stable market. It's a really stable market. But the issue today is the owners and the sellers, they have to learn that the prices are not what they used to be a couple of years ago, when the interest rates were really low, like 0.5%, 0.6%. Now we have an interest rate of average like 3.5, 3.6. So it's more difficult if you need to finance a property, if you buy something. But the transaction volume in general is very stable.
Yeah.
It's stable in the metropolitan areas. It's also stable in the countryside. Yeah.
So how are the rules for landlords when you buy as an investment? For example, in Chicago, it's pro-tenant. So sometimes the buyers are buying less because they're like, well, if the rules are pro-tenant, sometimes if the landlord doesn't get paid, they're going to pay the mortgage, they're going to pay their expenses because they're protecting, the other side. How is in Germany? How does it work?
Well, it's also a very pro-tenant market. Mm-hmm. We have a law that prohibits to hire the rent as you like. So there's a certain limit. Okay. And the other thing is, you cannot buy something which is with a tenant, and you kick them out in order to rent it new to someone else with a higher rent. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work in Germany, because buying does not break renting.
The lease.
That's by it's not by law.
You're buying within the business that is already.
You get the tenant if you buy the property, so you are connected. So you take over the tenant agreement. Yeah. You have to. Of course, you can maybe adapt it and adjust it, but normally you are then close to the tenant. Yeah. But still, it's a good market, and because the prices are growing, not exponentially, but
Germany is very
very
conservative.
stable. Germany is conservative.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Well, that's good, because then at least you know what to expect. You know,
Absolutely.
it's stable.
Absolutely.
And for people who wanna just have a stable return,
Yeah.
that would be a good place to park
Yeah.
their money.
Yeah. What it makes it more difficult is the regulations we get from the government, like for heatings, like solar energy, for new resources like this power from the earth heat. You know, something you have to use. Oil heatings are not prohibited, but everybody has to be aware that in maybe 2035 you have to adjust it and to refurbish. So it makes it sometimes a little bit challenging to buy properties if they are old ones, like 50 years old or even 100 years old. But still, it's a good investment. It should be part of your investment plan, like stocks, real estate, whatever. Watches.
Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Awesome. No, but for the so then when you buy like a property and it's not like environmentally friendly, let's say, with all the things that you mentioned, like, you know, optimizing the heating, this and that, you have to renovate it, or is it mandatory to keep a certain footprint count of some sort?
Yes, if it's necessary, you have to.
Okay.
It's not by law. It's not really mandatory. But like, for example, if you look at the windows, if you have this one piece of window and not double or even 3 times to save energy, then you have to renovate and you have to make this new. Also the roofs and it's always about energy, to save energy. It's like we try to invent the Tesla for properties.
Is there any regulation that makes you do it? Like, is it mandatory or suggested?
It's still a proposal, but it will come.
Okay.
It will come. There's a certain period of time. You have this energy plane, which is from A to H, and A is very good, saving energy. It's the best you can have with a property. But H is it's worst case, and then you have to refurbish.
Okay.
To bring it up to, let's see, E, D, or even C.
Improve it.
Exactly.
Okay. And what would be the buying process if somebody is curious to purchase a home or a property in Germany in the different areas? What would be the timeline and the steps to follow?
Okay. Well, first of all, it's easy. That's the good point. It has to be done by a notary. We do not work like in the US with a buyer agent and a seller agent. Normally, the agents work for both sides.
Okay.
We get a commission from the seller and the buyer. Okay. This is by law.
Okay.
If you get 3% from the buyer, you also get 3% from the seller. No, it's vice versa. If you get 3% from the seller, you can only get 3% from the buyer. If you only get 2% from the seller, you are only allowed to get 2% from the buyer. So it's limited. This changed in 2020. And now, if you found someone, a potential buyer, you have to be sure that he's able to buy it and check the financing. You need money laundering issues, you need data privacy issues, you need to follow up. Financing is the most important thing. And then the seller, the buyer, he proposes a notary, and then this contract is signed at a notary, and this is mandatory. You cannot change it. You cannot say to the seller, "This is the sales agreement. Please sign. I sign. We pay. Got it." That doesn't work.
Okay. So it has to be notarized. And what would be the time frame of a quick transaction? I mean, if it's an easier transaction, what would be like a 30, 90 days?
It can be 30 days.
It can be as short as 30 days.
Well, the average time to sell a property in Germany is 6 months. It takes you 6 months. not as quick as in the US, where it's at like eight weeks.
Yeah.
Because you have the MLS, and I would love to have an MLS in Germany, I have to admit. But in Germany, the average time is about 6 months. But if you agree with the buyer and you are good with the seller, and they both agree on a price, then it can be 10 days.
Okay,
That's
great.
quick. Yeah.
And is there any financing in Germany for anybody that is from a different country, or is this only strictly for German
No,
citizens?
anybody can finance with the German bank. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Can they justify their income somewhere else? Will they take their income? Like if they make income in the US,
Yes.
Canada, they can get financing.
Yes,
in Germany.
that's the
that's
that's
really
possible.
Good.
Yeah.
What is the max percentage of financing they can get? Can they get at 80, 90%, or is in the 70s, 60s?
3 years ago, I think, up to 3 years ago, we were able to finance 110%. So the property price plus the renovation, even the commission for the agent.
I didn't know that.
But now you need at least 20 to 30% cash down payment, and then the rest can be financed. It depends on your income.
Okay, I didn't know that. It's the first time I hear 110%.
No, this happened. And it's also a problem today because they financed with, let's say, an interest rate of 0.6%. And in 10 years, they have to refinance, and the interest rate went up to 3.5. So the follow-up financing, there's a risk. Yeah.
Is it a variable, or is it mandatory to refinance, or they can stay within that interest that they have?
It depends what you have paid so far for a property. If you finance like 80%, and you are only 1% goes into to pay back your
loan
debt at the bank, then you have at least 90% still open, so you have to refinance.
Interesting. I never heard that. That's really good. Used to be.
It used to be. It used to be.
I should have known that before. Well, this podcast is for people to learn the nuances on the how to. So we should have talked 2 years ago. That's interesting. So what will be the market like? What's the price range? And I know this will vary by city, by building, but all the features. But if I wanna estimate, living in Berlin, that you mentioned is one of the biggest and maybe probably most populated areas. 2 bedroom, maybe in the 60, 50 square feet, or in average. What's an average price that you will consider is a good price?
It depends on the location, because it always depends on location.
Yes.
The same in any
Everywhere,
place,
yes.
everywhere. It's from, let's say, 5,000 euros per square meter up to 6, 8, 10,000 euros per square meter. It really depends on the location and on the overall. What is the property like? Need its refurbishment? Need it be renovation and things like that? But this is. Berlin is, as a capital city, cheap compared to cities like Paris, London, Madrid. It's really cheap. That's why we had so many foreign investors in Berlin. But the prices went up, they grew, and we have an island, let's say in Sylt, which is the most northern island in Germany. You pay for a single home, you pay like 40,000 euros per square meter. It's comparable to the Hamptons, but this is unique for Germany.
That's like luxury part of Germany.
It's mainly single home, luxury. It's like the Hamptons.
Okay.
At the North Sea.
So anywhere from, you say, 5,000, 6,000.
Yeah.
At the lowest.
5. It depends. Even you get it cheaper even, but then it's not not really the place to be.
Okay.
Not for me. But I think it's a good range.
Interesting. Perfect. So that's a good reference point to start.
Yeah.
For a good place, let's say for investment.
Yeah.
Are there any opportunity areas in Germany that maybe is less, but what would be the risks of a trade-off? Because, for example, in Chicago, we have some areas that are the opportunity zones, that the government calls it that. So they give you some more benefits because it's more dangerous, meaning like on the return, on the neighborhood, but we still need homes for everybody. What would be something in the price range of that in Germany that maybe some investors are looking at for an opportunity?
I would also suggest to look at, let's say, medium-sized cities, not the metropolitan areas. Cities like Leipzig, Dresden, cities with, let's say, 350,000 population, 400,000, 600,000, where the prices are still low, like 3,000 to 4,000 euros per square meter, but they have a very good perspective.
Okay.
They spend a lot of money in renovation. The city is clean. It has a really good, from an investment point of view, perspective for the future. So buy it now, sell it in 10 years with a plus of 20%, which probably doesn't work in the metropolitan areas, not now, but in those medium-sized cities, we have about 50 cities of them in Germany, that works. Okay. It really depends where it is.
Like more into the countryside, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And for the type of like rental income that will come from a flat, you can give me an example that for the return, you said the returns are very conservative as well, return on investment. What would be a healthy rent that people will have to pay in the metropolitan areas versus, in the countryside?
Okay.
An average, just an idea.
If you look at the city centers and the metropolitan areas, the return on investment is very slow because you do not get that high yields in the cities. It's like 3%, even lower, 2.5%, but with the expectation that the prices will grow. On the countryside, you get like 4%, maybe even 5% for investment property, but the perspective of growing prices is not there. So this is the trade-off. If you are interested in interest rates and get a certain speed of return on investment, countryside is preferable. But if you are interested in stable prices, maybe growing prices, you have to accept the lower return on investment.
It's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
What are the cities that you recommend by type of lifestyle? For example, the main cities, like if somebody's looking at Germany, maybe I'll move to Germany, and this city is more like the school town, this one is more like the people who want quietness, this one is the coastal. What are the main cities that you, 3 or 4 cities that you're like, this is for that, this is for this type of demographic?
Well, if you like it more crowdy, more international, more variable, for example, it's probably Berlin. If you like the distance, a small distance to the sea, like the North Sea or the Eastern Sea, you choose a city like Hamburg, which is also about 1.9 million population. If you prefer the distance or the near distance to, let's say, the mountainside, you choose maybe Munich or even Stuttgart. They are more conservative, but very stable, very clean. Frankfurt it's our finance headquarter in Germany. All the big banks are in Frankfurt. It's also a city where many new buildings are built in the past. This is a city, either you like it or you hate it. So there's a gap between...
There's preference.
Yeah,
there's the preference.
I used to live there for 2 years and I didn't like it. Because I come from Hamburg. Hamburg is green,
it's more natural. Nature.
Yes, yeah, you have a big lake in the center. You have old buildings. You have the North Sea in the close area. You have the Eastern Sea. You are very close on the countryside, and so although it's a large city, it seems to be small. And each district in the city has its own center. So you do not have to go into the city center, and they have a very good public transport system. Yeah. Also, like Berlin, they all have. Makes it a very livable place.
Interesting. How about the weather? Like, because I know Germany can get cold.
Okay. Today it's 32 degrees, like we have here, which is an exception. Okay. Normally we have it depends on where you are. The more you go to the north, you have more wind, rain, it's but you don't have a really winter. It's like 2 degrees, 3 degrees plus.
Okay, so it's not horrible.
No, it's not that cold. You have more of the rain than in the south because you have this influence from the southern Europe, and in Germany we even get sand from the Sahara, from the desert. So sometimes you look at your car, it's like
That's
sand
good.
on your car. And then it's not like Mediterranean, it depends. Sometimes we have a summer like last year, which was like tons of rain, no sun at all, just a few days,
Yeah.
and that's it. And the next year, like this year, it seems to be, hopefully, it's a good summer. But it's like this.
Okay, it varies.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. So where Germans go to vacation, or what is their second location that they prefer to go to for vacation, second homes? Is that Spain, Portugal, in the south, or is it like somewhere else?
It's I would say most of them prefer countries like Spain, Italy, Portugal, also France, but also countries like Austria.
Okay.
I prefer to go hiking with my wife and my dog in the Italian Alps, so it's up and down, long distances. Others go to Scandinavia, which is also close if you live in northern Germany, to Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark. It's very close. Germans, I know a few Germans who own properties in the US, mainly in Florida.
Okay.
There's a huge German community, I believe. Less owned properties in South America. I know a few, but not many. It's mainly the Mediterranean Sea.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
makes
warmer
sense.
there. Well, this is great information. For agents, I'm curious about the agents. How does it work being an agent in Germany? I mean, we're switching from property for buyers. Now, if you want to be an agent in Germany, what will be some of the requirements? Do they need a license? I know you mentioned there's no MLS. What will be some of the requirements? If I want to be an agent in Germany, either I live there or from abroad, what will be the visa requirements if you're not from there? Or
It's
license?
easy. It's easy. You do not need a license.
No.
We have no mandatory training for agents.
We don't?
No,
Oh,
we don't
okay.
have. We offer trainings, of course, and there are public companies who offer, or private companies who offer those trainings. You need a commercial permission
Okay.
to be an independent agent.
So
which
you're an
says
independent contractor?
independent contractor, exactly. We have many agents in Germany who are employed with, like, say, there's a banking department who sells real estate. They are employed. They get a small salary plus a commission split. This is really a very relevant market, the employed agents.
It's the UK,
And
right?
if you are employed, you do not need the commercial permission because you are employed. And that's all you need. You need an insurance, like a kind of value insurance if you do make mistakes, like
Oh, okay.
well,
Errors and omissions, kind of like in the US.
And well, that's mainly it.
How does it work to be an independent agent in Germany? What's the taxes like for your income? When you receive income, you pay how much?
You pay.
It will vary, I'm sure. But
It's about 30% tax. If you send an invoice to us, let's say 1,000 euros plus VAT, he has to save at least 30% of this 1,000 euros because this is for the authorities and you have to pay this as tax. And once you have done this, you have to prepay taxes.
okay.
That means the financial says, well, the tax authorities, you earned this much money in the last year. We expect that you earn this money this year also. Please prepay your taxes.
Okay. So they estimate your taxes in the future.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is sometimes an issue for the agents because I know many agents who are not really, let's say, good financing guys. So
Okay.
they need to
spend
be
the money
aware.
before-
Yes, they need to be aware of this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. 30%, it can be more than that too, depending on which bracket you're in, or it's pretty standard?
That's standard. That's
Okay.
mainly standard.
Cool. Sounds good. So it sounds like we covered some of the property side, agency side. if they have any questions, they can reach out to you. You guys provide some training in German
Yes.
for German citizens
Yes.
that are agents, from the buying, marketing, all that. Awesome. So yeah, if you are curious to be an agent in Germany, you can reach out to Lars. We have a lot of trainings I've seen. I mean, I don't understand German, but I'm sure there is for the transaction side of things. Are you brand new agents? Will they be a good fit for reaching out to you as well? New agents completely?
Well,
they have to have some experience.
Well, our policy is at least 2 years experience.
2 years of experience. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lars. We learned so much today, especially about the 110% X financing 2 years ago, which we missed. But thank you for your time and all the knowledge.
Appreciate.
Thank you guys. See you next time.
See you in Germany.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast. I hope today's episode has inspired you to explore new horizons in global real estate. Remember, the world is full of opportunities waiting to be discovered. And with the right insights, you can turn those opportunities into successful investments. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us bring you the best content possible. Don't forget to follow us in social media for more resources and updates. Until next time, my friends, this is nathalysalas, encouraging you to think big, invest globally, and transform your real estate journey. Safe travels and happy investing.